Hi there. It was in the summer of '89 that I was discharged from a mental institution after years of being treated for mood disorders. After this difficult period in my life, I lived alone in a country-style house. Then, out of the blue, my daughter showed up with a 5-feet-tall Christmas tree, insisting that I plant it in my backyard. That evening, as I dug a hole to plant the tree, my shovel hit something solid. I discovered an old treasure box with a skull inside. I then slowly wiped my hands before holding the skull. Minutes later, I took the skull into the house and began to look at it closely. While touching it, I was drawn to think that my house may be sitting on an old burial site. Soon it became dark, and as I kept staring at the skull, I began to imagine all sorts of weird things, like bats hovering over the skull, an owl with butterfly wings slowly coming towards me, a lion changing into a wolf-like dog, a snake-like alligator trying to scare me, a cat-like dog staring at me, a colorful eagle swooping down, a monkey looking very angry, and a skull with huge eyes trying to frighten me. The more I pondered on the skull, the more tormented my mind became. I was afraid to call my daughter, to tell her about the strange things I am seeing, fearing she may want to put me back in a mental institution. I soon realized that the skull was haunting my mind, and with this, I decided to move it out of the house. So early the next morning, I began removing the Christmas tree. However, when I tried to put the skull in the ground, the skull kept slipping out my hand, as if it did not want to be put back into the hole. I then said a prayer, and with this, the skull rested peacefully in my hand. After burying it, I felt relieved. In the coming days, I was back to my usual self, living a peaceful life. Well, this is J.R. Singh saying bye. I hope this fictional story sparked your imagination. Please, subscribe